welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be recapping and reviewing All American season 3 episode 10. Put up or shut up, let's get into it. Okay, so we start with JJ coming to meet up with Asher and Jordan as they're chilling after the dance, and what gets me is JJ talking about, I'll always be the same JJ that you'll always remember. Do y'all see that it's already going to his head though? And to follow up, it's when Chris and Spencer comes up and JJ, I was like, dang, my man Spence, he can't win. So JJ just assumes that he has won, but Spencer's like, no. So JJ's like, what loser beat you? And when he finds out that it's Chris and Chris is standing right there, his face, when he's just like, done. Completely done. But the little moment where Spencer and Jordan are basically talking about their ladies, well, Spencer's asking about Simone, but Jordan's like, we all know who you're really checking for, because we all know that he's really checking for Liv, but he's not trying to make it be known to everybody else. But my girl Liv is somewhere else getting some help, y'all. Liv's look in this meeting, okay, props to my girl Liv up in this meeting getting the help that she needs right now. But her styling in this meeting, I say y'all did that wardrobe, hair, makeup, the fit, she looks so good for someone who's going through so much right now. But this Nina girl, y'all, she was too giddy for me. She was like, whatever you need, I'm here for you. She just met you. No. Then we had Nurse Joy with her shady buffet comment. Miss, y'all got all kinds of snacks and drinks out here. Yeah, she gonna snack on some cookies. She ain't trying to open up right now. Listen, one step at a time. My girl got here, she sat down, and she's staying because there's food. She gonna open up when she's ready. So while Spencer is not only trying to convince everyone else but himself that they're gonna be performing better in this upcoming game, because listen, there's a lot riding on this and they need some changes to happen. We have Cam and Dane coming up to Lil Nessa and Simone. Dane gotta go, y'all. I can't take him. He's so annoying. He's trying to make small talk. You never noticed her before. You weren't trying to make no kind of small talk before. And now, since what? Baby's gone. You see her with a new man. She's thriving and everything. Now you want to talk to her for what? And Cam, oh, Cam is just as bad. I can't take Cam. Cam is too cocky for me. Granted, my man Spence been struggling, you know? But he hasn't always been struggling. So when Jordan and Spence comes basically to their rescue though, Simone didn't need no rescuing. They dip out her and Lil Nessa, and now it's just the 4 guys. But when Cam sat here and played my man yet again, man, he said, oh, I already got like 4 Scully offers. How many you got? I said none. He got none. But that doesn't mean he's not gonna get any. Maybe. All right, now poor JJ. My guy, Lil Nessa was not even trying to stick around for any kind of conversation. She was out. And the thing is, JJ genuinely seems like he likes her. You know, it's JJ. He's a jokester and everything, but it seems like when it comes to Nessa, he wants to try for a relationship, and he likes this girl, you know, and he just wants her to like him back. Sadly, those feelings aren't being reciprocated, and he's not seeing that. And what gets me is him over here asking Asher to try to put in a word for him because he knows they're good friends and everything. And he thinks Asher's going to be able to help him out. Just let her know I'm a great guy, that I'm into her, basically. And you know, Asher, he's gotten a lot better over the last seasons. And when JJ asked him to speak to Nessa, you know, he's a little hesitant to do so, but at the same time, that's his friend, and he sees that he actually cares for this girl, so he agrees to try to talk to her and see if he can put in a word. But what comes next, y'all? I said, wow. Y'all saw how she booked it away from JJ, right? But when Asher walks up to her, she's just like, oh, did you need a ride? And he's like, oh no, I just wanted to talk. Y'all, she was cheesing from ear to ear just because he wanted to talk to her. And we knew she was going to stay and talk to him. It was her actually putting it all out there for me though. But he starts to, you know, try to talk up JJ. And she's like, I'm waiting for someone else. I said, we all know who. He knew too. He was like, Vanessa. She's talking about the kiss that they would have had already since summer. But Liv was in the picture, so that kiss never happened. And that girl wants her kiss now. She wants it. And for her, It's just the fact that Asher is stuck on this whole bad timing situation. You might as well just go for it. And Asher, you know, yes, it was the whole Liv situation before. They're no more. But now one of his closest friends is into this girl, and he's not trying to start anything there between the two of them because he knows how that'll affect his friend because he's so into this girl. But at the same time, he really does have feelings for her, but he's not trying to push that. And he would go as far as to talk his friend up to you so that way you'll know how his friend feels. Although he knows in his mind that you are not into that friend either. So y'all just need to make it happen. And he was so close to it too. Y'all saw him going in for that kiss and then he thought about it. And he was like, dag, JJ, can't do it. She was hurt because she wanted it. She said, it's always bad timing. But when is it gonna be our time? That's what she wanted to know. My girl Liv is over here smacking on her cookies, right? And you know when you don't want to be called on, but you can feel the teacher staring at you? That's what was happening because Nurse Joy is over here shooting them eyes. My girl Liv, she's trying to like she don't see nothing but that chocolate chip. But she gonna have to do something at some point because she gotta make her way back to Spence. But I'm happy to also see that Mama Laura was up in her own meeting, over here trying to find out ways to help Liv be better. I said that is how you support your child in need. Spence is talking to Mama Grace a little bit because once again, homie is being shaded. I mean, he went to bed with shade on his mind. He wakes up with shade on his mind because he done seen the article. You know, he's a little lost right now because he's still trying to just figure everything out for himself and what will be best. He's a work in progress. And I feel like Mama Grace is the best thing for him right now because not only does he have his therapist who is great, but he has his mom who is telling him what he needs to hear, which he needs that tough love right now because with his therapist, he has a great listening ear and someone who's really helping him work through his thoughts and his emotions and everything. But then you got your mama who's going to tell it to you like it is, and he needs that because his future. What future? That's what we need to figure out. Where he going? What he doing? We see Coop come across Mo, and she's so iffy about her because Mo's coming up with these papers that are for patients. And you know, I get it. She's being the protective girlfriend and everything. But then I was kind of looking at Coop sideways because Patience is a big girl. She can take care of herself. You're still on this whole Mo situation when everyone else is just like, let it be. She's here to help the community. I get why you're looking at her because of who she's related to. But at the same time, I'm like, dag, time done passed by. So should you really be still on this girl? Shouldn't you be focusing on your music? You seem like you're putting a lot of time and energy at this point in time into Mo. But I can see why she still doesn't trust Mo. So I'm not going to hold that against her. Maybe you should loosen up a little bit because I feel like this is kind of restricting you in a way. Your paranoia and everything when she's around or when her name is just mentioned is something that's really affecting you and your music. Because look at this, did y'all see her write any lyrics or sing any lines or do anything up until this point in this episode? No, because she was focused on Mo. I feel like everyone else is looking at her and telling her, oh, you know, what has Mo done that has made you not want to trust her up until this point? Look at what she's done to help the people in the community up until this point. And for Coop, like I said, I see why she doesn't trust her. But you don't have to trust her just because everyone else does. You don't have to like her just because everyone else does. Just leave her alone and go about your business. I feel like she's letting it eat at her, the fact that she feels this way about Mo. Just leave the girl be and keep it pushing. JJ has finally caught on. Thank you. But, okay. So he's talking to Asher and he's telling him, you know, thank you for talking to her and everything. He wants to know how it went. And Asher's telling him basically, she's not into you. She's into someone else. He could do the math. We all did it. And he realizes that she's into Asher, which he's hurt by this and feels betrayed in a way because this is supposed to be his boy. He knew that he was into her. Okay, but she wasn't into you and she was never into you. And the simple fact that you're the only one who never realized this. He needs to chill because when he's telling Asher, I knighted you. Okay, and what did that do? And then he tells him, and you're still my girl? She was never your girl, JJ. My guy is delusional. I don't know what to say because he really thought that he felt something there that only he felt. And that there was a connection there that only he was connected to. And then he goes and tries to rough Asher up a little bit against the lockers, and Jordan comes through to break it up. But y'all see him slam the locker because he done got tight. But Jordan gets a little... He got dizzy. I said, that hospital soon come. But you know what? Okay. I give Asher props though for this entire thing, the way it played out, because even when he first wanted him to talk to Vanessa, Asher knows he likes Vanessa as well, but he doesn't want to pursue that right now because he cares about everyone else's feelings. So he's not trying to push it. But the simple fact that he still went ahead and did it because it's something that his friend wanted in that moment, and he knows how his friend feels about this girl. And then even in the locker room, he could have tried to throw hands back at JJ when JJ had him up against the locker, but nope. He took it. He was just like, go ahead. You want to hit me? Hit me. Asher's just tired. You know, he's been through so much since the first season with his parents and being in between the two of them. He was originally with Layla, that relationship, the way it ended, and then getting with Liv, you know, because he started to feel something for her and he genuinely cared for this girl. He didn't say he was the one Nessa was into. You know, JJ put it together anyway, but he didn't want to hurt his friend. And he's hurting himself at the same time because he knows that he wants to be with Nessa, but he's not trying to do it right now because he cares about his friend. Just like before, he said, oh no, I'm with Liv. I can't let that happen. Although he did feel something for her up on that beach, but he didn't do it. And now look at him. Football's all he got right now because he's over here denying himself of the girl he wants. So while Billy is letting Spence know that they're able to, you know, start finally getting this team together officially, he also tells him that some coaches are coming to the game so that way they can see Spence play. And he better get it together because there's a lot riding on this. So all that greatness that I know he has inside of him, he better bring it out because my man, he been struggling for the last few months. My man Billy sat there and started telling him this story about his daddy, you know, like in his prime and everything. I said, yes, Billy. You tell him that story. You give him hope. Throw some lies in there if you have to. Anything. We got to win this game. Coop brings Layla the papers that Mo gave her for patience, and you know, she's still skeptical about everything, but when Layla takes a look at them, she sees that it's basically the papers that they need to finalize Patience's contract and to end it all with her father. I appreciate my girl Layla because in this moment, you know, she was struggling last episode. I was like, dad, girl, you got to do better. But this one here, she seems level-headed. She seems like she's just chilling. You know, her daddy's home right now. My girl is thriving. While Jordan finds out that a coach is coming to the game at Beverly to see him play, my girl Liv is finally opening up. And I said, this is a good thing. So as she's opening up in the meeting, she lets everyone know that the reason why she took the drink is because she has been there for everyone. Everyone left her and she felt like she didn't matter. So as she's saying it, I'm completely agreeing in the moment because all of this is true. You know, she has been there for everyone since day one. That supportive friend, sister, girlfriend, everything. And everyone did leave for the summer to pursue their own things. And then also with them pursuing their own things, in a way, it's like, okay, were you checking in? Did you care to see how she was doing over the summer? Throughout the school year, really, were you checking in with her? You know, just finding out what's been going on in her life and ways that you can be there for her rather than her always be there for you. So I see what she meant by that. I see where Nurse Joy is coming from because she tells her, you need to take responsibility for yourself. Don't try to blame it on other things, other people. No, this is on you. You need to know you're an addict and this is something that you need to have control over for your own life. It makes sense because there's a million different things that she can use for an excuse as to why she would take a drink. She could say my English teacher failed me or that they are going to fail me for a test or whatever it may be. And because of the fear of knowing that I was getting a bad grade or the pressure of having that failure on me, I took a drink. Anything she could use, anything that would come across in a negative way, she could try to use that as a reason to drink. But she needs to learn how to control all of those negative things and handle them in a different way that doesn't push her to alcohol. So she needs to take control of her addiction and learn how to keep that separate from everything else that is going on in her life. Because she shouldn't be using drinking as a coping mechanism for these things. It's only going to hurt her in the end, and that's what she needs to learn how to deal with. Find other ways to deal with the bad in your life. It's not always on other people or other things. It's on you at the end of the day, because it's your life and you're the only one that is truly in control of it. So take responsibility. And I was like, Dad, yeah, Liv, girl, I love you, but girl, you better take that responsibility. So Crenshaw had a practice, right? Because they're trying to drop their loser status. One and done. If they lose this next upcoming game, that's it. They're not making it to playoffs, so they gotta do better. So now the games are officially underway. Beverly, Crenshaw, and Layla comes to see Coop, and she caught on to something in their conversation earlier where Coop was like, you know, he had to let her go because he didn't have a choice. What choice is what she wants to know. And Coop's not trying to go more in detail, but Layla's over here telling her, I'm tired of getting lied to. My girl Layla is tired of getting lied to. You know, y'all, she did a lot. I know she did a lot. But at the same time, they were lying to homegirl. So she just wants to know everything up front. Don't try to keep no secrets from her, especially if you're going to be working with her with music. Got to be trust both ways, you know? So Coop ends up telling her, which I knew when they first had the conversation up in Layla's house, that's what she was talking about. I said, it's going to be Papa JP and how he was sucking face with Jules. I was bringing my boy Spence to tears left and right. He only had like the tears coming up a little bit though. They weren't dripping out. Papa Billy gives this speech, right? This heartfelt speech, y'all, about Corey and all he did, his record that he set, and how they're going to retire his number. And then they had his little number displayed on the field. I said, this is what Spencer needs. This, you know, we need that little motivational speech or that highlight where this is what gives you that push. This was his push because he needed to perform and he wasn't really performing during the game. So this was it right here. And my man starts performing. I mean, but maybe Jordan needed one too, because my homie, y'all see him get laid out? I said, dag, I knew it was coming though. Spence ends up basically tying with his dad's record, and he's so close to breaking it, y'all. And in my head, I'm just like, yes, this is for you, Spence. This is what your therapist and your mom have been talking about. But he doesn't want to do it because it's his dad's record, it's his legacy and everything. I'm just like, do what's going to make you happy and what you feel you need in this moment to be the best version that you can be of yourself. And my man, he wanted to honor his daddy. My man, on that last pass, he was like, psych, oh, you gotta be quicker than that. Booked it like Forrest and then stopped and took a knee for his daddy so they could have the record together. I said, that's loyalty. Y'all, this is what I was waiting for. All right, we're at the hospital, right? Because, you know, Jordan then got laid out. So, Nurse Joy is at the hospital. She sees Liv. She's going to give my homegirl an update. And, you know, they see each other, Spencer and Liv. They give a little hug. I said, this is another time or place. So, we know we're not getting that this episode. It's not coming for a while, y'all. But we could be easy. So, they're all worried about Jordan. And he's laid up in his bed. And they want to know what's going on. So, now the doctor comes up to them, right? They're in the waiting area. Mama Laura got her little list. This girl, she done Googled. She done had her little Grey's Anatomy reruns. She got her list now formed of everything she thinks she knows. So the doc comes and she's throwing all these things at him. Is it this? Is it this? Simone done had enough. So Simone gets up and the doc, he can't even get a word in because Mama Laura, she got her list. No. She was like, can you not? He's over here trying to give us an update and you're too busy reading from your list. Yes, you're his mother and I respect that. I said, yeah, she's over here putting some respect on her name. She over here reading her in a polite way. But wife trumps parent in this situation. I was looking like Liv and Spencer in that moment. I was just like, dang. And they were over here trying to like divert their eyes because she didn't let the cat out of the bag, y'all. Just last episode, she didn't want nobody to know. But her man is hurt. So she said, nah, I'm finding out about my baby. Mama Laura, she was trying to dismiss girl. And I know she was just, that's her son. So she was worried, but Simone was not having it when Mama Laura was trying to dismiss her. She was like, you can go home. No, Simone was like, you can go home, I'm his wife. You know what I like though? When Mama Laura came up to Spencer and Liv and they basically let her know that they knew the whole time and that they got married in Vegas, yada yada. But Simone came over there because she was worried about Spencer and Liv and how Mama Laura was going to be acting towards them once she found out that they knew. And you know, she didn't want them to get in trouble for it, which Mama Laura was still being shady towards Simone because she had married her son without her knowing. But the fact that she was sitting there trying to protect Spencer and Liv, I said, this is why I like Simone, y'all. But Coop, after speaking with Kia, who, okay, Kia's hair, the bantu knots, the parting, on point. I said, this episode, the styling, so good. So after speaking with Kia about Mo and everything, she decides to loosen up a little bit and to help out, especially regarding the recent events that took place within their community. And she's beginning to see Mo a little differently, but you know, you can tell that her guard is still slightly up. And at the same time, we have Layla, who is now confronting her daddy because of this information that she has come to find out. You're messing with yet another artist that is on your label, and she's not having it, y'all. My girl is hurt because you're supposed to be my dad. At this point, you can go back on the road. Him trying to separate his artist from his personal life, but yet his artist is serving as both, because you can't find a relationship nowhere else but with your artist. And that's what Layla's not understanding. Sir, no, that's where Layla's issue lies, because her daddy just be going through women. The fact that he responded when Layla told him that Lil Jewel is married, that she's unhappy, I said, really, JP? And this is why, y'all. You see, Layla has her issues, but look at her life at home. I mean, she got, her mama's gone. She got her daddy here who's all over the place. He don't know who he wants to be with. He needs to find someone that is actually available. Clearly, they're both still affected by her mom's death, and I feel like for him, this is his way of dealing with it and coping, is messing with these people who are, I mean, they're available. Not available in the sense of they're free and single. No. Available in the sense that it's easy access for him. These are his artists, so he's with them constantly. So he's gonna put the moves on them until he gets them, and then he'll move on to the next one. But this is how he operates, and Layla wants no parts of it. She's working on herself right now. She got too much going on right now for her to have to deal with this. No. So Jordan ends up waking up, and you know what got me? It's the fact that Simone, listen, my girl, she let Mama Laura have it, and she still let her have it because she was the one that was there when my homie came too. And she was like, your family is here, so I'm gonna go get them for you. And lets him know beforehand that they now know that they're married. Mama Laura and Papa Billy comes in, and Jordan is like, how long I've been out? And Mama Laura's like, too long. It's been like, what, an hour maybe? It ain't been that long. Alright, it's been some time, y'all, since we've been introduced to Mo. And when Coop finally approaches her and basically loosens up now, she's accepting of Mo being there and for the help that she's done until this point, and lets Mo know that. And then Mo makes the comment now that she's finally let her guard down. I don't know how I feel about this because it's been some time, and at first I was completely against Mo. I figured, you know, she's there for revenge. You got my brother killed, you're the reason, yada yada. But at the same time, I mean, she has done good, but maybe that's just her way of getting on Coop's good side and helping these people that are close to Coop, the community that Coop has grown up in, Coop's family and friends, so that way ultimately she can do her big plan, you know, for Coop, what she has in store for her, which is not going to be something good, maybe. Now that I'm thinking about it, y'all, yeah, no, I see that happening. Yeah, I mean, Coop was right not to trust her, but like I said, she should have just, you don't like her, okay, don't let your guard down, just keep it pushing. You don't have to trust her or befriend her in any sort of way, but for her to completely let her guard down, nah, she shouldn't do that. But I feel like she's going to now because everyone else around her is beginning to do so, and they trust Mo now, and now Mo might come back to retaliate. And you know what, good for her, because Coop needs to learn at this point, and Spence not gonna be there, because he's working on himself and he gotta get his girl back. So she on her own this time. Jordan finally fesses up about cheating his protocols. And you know, I feel bad for him because he's been doing good this season. He's really been trying with his family, his friends, his relationship and everything. And the main thing he wanted was to play football. And I guess he thought it wouldn't be a big deal, but I mean, we all knew it was going to be something big. I love that at the end, it kind of has a little bit of healing for both Spencer and Liv, with Liv getting a new sponsor now through Nurse Joy. And I feel like that's going to be something that is great for her, especially going from this girl Leslie, who we all saw what happened to her. But I feel like Nurse Joy is going to be a great fit for her, and someone who is going to be like a Mama Grace in a way. Tell her like it is, what they need to hear. And for Spencer, with him and his mom, I feel like things are starting to look up for him, and he can finally see a little bit of what happiness looks like, especially now that he has these possible college prospects that are coming up. And because he just had a great game and he tied with his dad's record, so I feel like they're slowly starting to work on themselves now, which is what we want, y'all. Poor Jordan, though, we found out that the doctor told him he might not be able to play football for the rest of the season. And I'm just like, man, this is his senior year, y'all. You know what's crazy? I feel like him and Spencer have now swapped places, because Spencer, now things are beginning to look up for him, and Jordan, who was basically on a good track, now his future is up in the air and he doesn't know what that looks like. So they've now swapped places, and I mean, can't they both be great? Nah. It's looking like Spencer's going to be trying to do some more self-discovery and basically just working on himself, which, listen, as long as it takes, I'm here for the ride. I love that it's touching on current events, and I love that Coop is just trying to do more within the community overall. And hopefully going forward, this would bring in more of Kia, especially because this is typically her lane and what she does within the community. I'm excited for next week's episode because I also want to see how it plays out with the whole wedding situation between Simone and Jordan, now that the parents know. And once her parents find out, Lord, it's gonna be a mess. Yeah, that was everything for this week's episode, y'all. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.